BFDI is a show where objects compete for an island and everything about it is not even real. But what if BFDI was real? What if I had a wife and kids and we wanted to live in, say, the Teapot Hotel, the Pillary Ruins, or maybe even the world's largest oven?
Honey, little Timmy just got burned alive.
So today, I'm going to be ranking BFDI locations based on how livable they are in real life. Ranking them from 100% would live there to 0% survival. Let's start with first up on the list, the world's largest oven. The world's largest oven only has the main oven, one room in a mega mall. But say I have kids and we live in a literal oven that'll burn us alive. The only quality the world's largest oven has is that at any time you can just make some cookies whenever you want. But that's only if you can survive. There would also only be one shelter inside the oven to sleep under, being the box in the room. I don't know about you, but me personally, I'm not sleeping on a box. The world's largest oven goes in 0% survival. Next is the Teapot Hotel. The Teapot Hotel actually seems like a really nice place to live. Tons of rooms everywhere. One downside would be if that you're at the very top of the hotel, you could easily fall off and break all your bones. Don't want little Timmy falling 70 feet down randomly. But besides that, the Teapot Hotel would be very livable. Plus, you can get free food anytime you want from the kitchen. The Teapot Hotel is a solid sure. What's the worst that could happen? Next up is Evil Canyon. Unless you use Spongy as a platform, you just fall to your demise. Plus, Evil Leafy could just show up out of nowhere. You'd pretty much just perish the second you step foot in there. 0% survival. Next is Golf Ball's Underground Factory. Golf Ball's Underground Factory is honestly kind of terrifying. What if I'm just sleeping and I roll into the incinerator or even maybe the ovenotron? Oh nah. One upside is that it seems like there's a lot of nice fans, so it'd be nice and chill in there. But that might be the only redeeming thing about Golf Ball's Underground Factory. But then again, you'd have to walk up and down flights of stairs every time. Golf Ball's Underground Factory is going in okay. Up next is the Yoyal City, and finally an actual decent one. But wait, what? Little Timmy, no! Whee! Anyway, there's all sorts of nice buildings to go to. The bakery would be a nice food source unless it's those hard as rock cookies. The beds in that one building from BFDIA 6 would be very good for sleeping. You also can't forget about the fact that there is a glued powered recovery center in Yoyal City, so that just makes it worth it. Places like the Yoyal Stadium and the Science Museum would be very nice outings to go on weekends with the hypothetical wife and kids. Yoyal City is a solid 100% would live there. Up next is Gelatin Steakhouse. Gelatin Steakhouse is an interesting one because I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but steak is kinda mid. Also, it eventually gets abandoned and Pillow murders people in there, so I feel like Gelatin Steakhouse would not be the greatest option to live in. It's going in nah. Locker of Losers. The Locker of Losers wouldn't be too bad if you were alone, but if I was cake in there getting fat shamed, then that would not be pleasant along with having barely any space. So I'm just gonna do it the mindset that no one else lives there. You get free bread, but honestly, it'd be a little bit lonely by myself, so that's going in okay. Next is the Weak Trembling Fortress, also known as the WTF. To go from the LOL to the Weak Trembling Fortress is kind of an odd contrast, but living in the WTF would suck if there's no food. There'd barely be any sort of roof of any kind, and you would have to live with Golf Ball, who is always on Twitter, Yellowface yapping about his ads, Fiery, Gelatin, and Rocky would be pretty chill, but still, the WTF is a nah. Next on the list is Dream Island. Dream Island is obvious. There's everything you could ever want. A 5-star hotel, a casino, 6 restaurants, and robot servants. Sign me up, bro. A clear 100% would live there for sure. Next is the BRB. The BRB is literally just a torture chamber. Leafy is very lucky that she didn't have to go to the BRB when she got out in BFB. Also, considering the fact that the BRB is hundreds of feet up is quite concerning. It would not be pleasant in the slightest. The only form of entertainment you have is an iPad. I'm just gonna put that in nah. Next is Davidland. Aw, seriously? But for real, it would get really annoying really fast. 0% survival since your eardrums would just bleed out. Next is One's room, and it doesn't even seem like it would be that bad. Maybe even good. The room features a lot of nice plants for oxygen. If it didn't, everyone would end up looking like this. The vibe of it is very calming and nice. There's a lot of books on the shelves, but I hate reading, so we're just gonna gloss over that. The sofa in One's room also looks like a nice, soft, cozy place to sleep. One's room is going in sure. What's the worst that could happen? Next is the Underworld from BFDIA 9 and 10. Oh. The Underworld would be terrible to live in. Automatic 0% survival rate. Moving on. Up next, we got Robati's Waterfall. Robati's Waterfall looks like it could be very peaceful and soothing. Ever heard of why Robati even comes to this waterfall? Then, yeah. Besides that, the downsides would be lack of food, entertainment, and shelter from the water, along with the crazy ledge that you have to tiptoe across or avoid pen crashing out. At least there's some nice trees for oxygen. Robati's Waterfall is going in okay. Next, we got the exit. The exit would be really bad. I really ain't trying to live in school, you know what I'm saying? The exit is going in nah. Next, we got the Pillary Ruins. The Pillary Ruins is an absolute mess if you'd want to live there on the hills and stuff. That would be scary to sleep on top of. But other than that, the Pillary Ruins doesn't look too great to live in. And with all the random strangers who show up out of nowhere, it would be creepy. The Pillary Ruins is going in nah. But what's besides the Pillary Ruins is kind of dry. The desert. The BFTI desert looks like the most boring and dry place on the planet. And there's sharp and pointed cactuses everywhere that my children and I could just die from. There's no water, no food, no shelter, absolutely nothing of value in the desert. 0% survival. Next is Bandland from Teapot 12. Bandland seems alright, but with all the instruments everywhere, it could get unbearably loud. So there's a good chance no sleep could happen in Bandland. And if this is on Bell's string, it could get really wobbly. It doesn't seem too bad though. Bandland is going in okay. Next is the Goi Highway. Goi Highway would be a very stupid decision to live on because you'll just be chilling and then a million rubies could just be stomping on you. Not to mention what you look like when you enter. Although, you can run super fast, which sounds like fun, but then again, what if little Timmy falls off the edge and drowns? So I'm gonna have to put the Goi Highway at 0% survival. And last but not least, the Evil Here Hotel. The Evil Here Hotel is the most peaceful, but at the exact same time, it's the most terrifying location. Check out the differences between the moods. So because of this, it's going to be quite difficult deciding which tier the Live Here Hotel goes in. But when you really think about it, it's pretty old and run down. Plus, in the rooms of the hotel, there's only one window in the room. But you may be asking, well, what's wrong with that? It's just a window. Not for the Live Here Hotel, because not only it's a window to the hallway of the hotel, it's on top of the wall, which means this window is completely useless to anyone living here. Sure, there's the bigger window, but you'd probably not want random people looking into your hotel room. So there's a good chance that you'd want to put curtains or something over that big window, leaving you with the one tiny window at the top of the wall facing the hallway. The Live Here Hotel goes in nah just for that. Okay, finally got through that. What does this say about the real world? 0% survival since one day, no matter the location, we'll all die anyway.